All right, hi guys. So today's activity I hope is pretty fun for you guys. It's a very interactive roadmap to understanding how the concentration of hydrogens and the concentration of hydroxides will also help you calculate pH and pOH. So a couple things to review from yesterday. The higher the concentration of hydrogen ions in a solution, the more acidic that it is. However, on the scale of a pH scale, the lower the number. So here's an example. Neutral is 7. So there's a scale of pH of 1 down up to 14. Right in the center is going to be 7. Okay. Water is very neutral. That means that it has equal parts hydroxides, equal parts hydrogens. Now, if I increase the amount of hydrogens in the solution, the more acidic it becomes, the lower it is on the scale, on the pH scale. Okay, so there's that relationship. Now, if I add more hydroxides, so if I add more hydroxides, then that means that the higher the pH is going to be, okay, which means that it's going up the scale. All right, so that's that relationship. Now, what you guys see on the screen right here is going to be the Google Sheet that you guys are going to be using today. So we call this the acid-base roadmap. So here's how this works. At any time when you're given a problem, you may be given the concentration of hydrogen, the concentration of hydroxides, you may be given the pH, or you may be able to, or you may be given the pOH. So here's what this is saying. The way that this works, if you are given this pOH, you can calculate anything else here by following this roadmap. Here's an example. If I have the pOH, and Mrs. Grant says, what is the pH of the solution? You need to know whatever this number is, you subtract it from 14, and that'll give you your pH. Because remember, both the amount of hydrogens and the hydroxides on that scale, they have to equal 14. So if the pH level is 1, then that means that the pOH level is going to be 13. 13 plus 1 is 14. That's where our scale comes in. Okay, now the next thing that you need to know, let's say that I give you the pOH and I'm trying to figure out the concentration of hydroxides. If I was given the pOH, then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take in my calculator 10 raised to the negative pOH. So if my pOH was, let's say 7, then I'm going to take the 10 raised to the negative 7th power, and that's going to give me my OH minus concentration, okay? And so you're going to follow this roadmap to do the following. Over here, okay, I'm going to click down on this other tab. So in case you guys didn't see that, at the bottom there are 2 tabs. All right, so now we're going to actually make some pixel art. So I hope this is exciting for you guys. This was super fun to figure out. So what I've given you is 15 problems for you guys to calculate. Every time that you come up with the correct solution, so the correct answer, this over here is going to fill in with some different colors and it's going to create some pixel art. So want to make sure that you guys are watching this video, follow along with me, be ready to pause at certain times. And so I'm going to probably do the first couple problems with you guys to show you some examples, and then I will let you guys work on it on your own. All right, so before you start, there's a couple things that you need to have. So if you were not in possession of a scientific calculator, it's okay. We're going to find one. So here's what I recommend that you do. You are going to open up this Google Sheet, and what I like to do is I like to grab it at the top, and I'm going to split screen it. So I'm going to send it all the way to the right. It's going to make this kind of shadow box, okay? And then I'm going to let it go. And now I have split screened it here. I'm going to have another tab that I'm going to keep open to Google, and I'm going to go ahead and type in scientific calculator because we need to use logarithms. Now, logarithms is just a fancy way of saying if I was to take the logarithmic of something, I am taking the foundation, so I'm taking a logarithm. Now, you don't need to know that, okay? Meaning like it's just something that you need to know that there's a button on a calculator for. So you're going to use log for logarithm, okay? So here's the scientific calculator. It's one of the first results that pops up. I'm going to split screen that there, and I want to make sure that I can see log. Okay, so a couple things. You need to be comfortable not only seeing the problem, but remembering that you need to reference your roadmap, and then you will I'll show you guys how to enter this into your calculator. Okay, so when we're on our pixel art, there is a couple instructions that are here. So what you're going to do is you guys are going to complete each problem and enter the numerical answer in column C. You're going to report the pH and the POH in answers to 2 decimal spots. You're going to report the answers for the other problems to 3 significant figures. As you enter the correct numerical answers in column C, the color should appear to the right. If no color appears, the answer is incorrect. Once you are all completed, then you should have a piece of pixel art to enjoy. And that's what you guys are going to turn in. So let's go ahead and practice. So I'm here, I'm ready to go. I have my first problem, I have my roadmap down here on this tab, and I have my calculator. So the first question is asking, what is the pH of a solution that contains the concentration of hydrogen ions to be 3.18 times 10 to the -8th molarity? Okay, so that's a tiny concentration. So let's go ahead and we're going to go to our roadmap. And I know that I need to go from hydrogen and I need to go down to pH. So what I need to do is in my calculator, this is a negative sign, negative log of the concentration. So here's how you do this on this calculator. I'm going to hit this minus sign that stands for negative, log, all right? And so for me, I always struggle like remembering numbers. So I'm going to go back to my pixel art and it says 3.18. So I'm going to go ahead and go 3.18. Now, for those who do not know, the letter E, okay, or I'm sorry, this EXP means times 10 to the, so I'm going to do EXP. And so this takes care of 10, like, so that times 10, and then I'm going to put -8, and I'm going to close the parenthesis, and I'm going to hit enter. All right, so now just a reminder, you need to round it to 2 decimal spots. So that means 2 spots after the decimal. So my first number is 7, and then I'm going to go 2 decimal spots. I look to its neighbor is 7. I need to round this number up. So my number now becomes 7.5. Couple things, you need to put 3 numbers into your answer key. Okay, so this one, I'm going to try it out. So I should see 7.50. I'm going to hit enter. And look, it filled in some colors. So that means that I got the answer correct. Okay, so I did not need to put any, let's see, any labels or anything after the number. We're just looking for numerical value. So go ahead. If you want to pause this video, rewatch it for just a quick segment to see how I did that, you're more than welcome to do this at this time. All right, so we finished that first one. Now let's do problem number 5. Okay, so problem number 5 is going to be a little bit trickier because we do have to use a little bit of algebra. Yes, you actually get to apply some algebra here. So in this question, it says, what is the hydrogen concentration if the solution has a hydroxide concentration of 5.25 times 10 raised to the -8th power? Lots of numbers going on. So here's what we're going to do. We're going to go back to our roadmap. And I know that I need to go from one concentration to the next. So whatever concentration is given to me is going to be on the inside of these brackets, okay? Now these are related by multiplication. In order to get rid of multiplication, I will need to divide both sides by the concentration given. So let's practice this. If I'm looking at my pixel art and it's asking me what is the hydrogen concentration if the solution has this one right here. So I am given OH. So here's what I'm going to do. I need to start off by putting 1 times 10 to the -14th. So 1 EXP, that means times 10 to the, and I need to put -14. Okay, and then what I'm going to do now, I am given a concentration. I need to put that concentration number over here in my calculator. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back to my pixel art. All right, and I'm going to make sure I hit the divide sign because I'm trying to get rid of this on both sides. So in this case, my OH is going to be 5.25 times 10. So that means I need to click my EXP to the -8. All right, so I'm going to hit enter. Gives me a lot of numbers. Now, if I look, This is already here, times 10 to the negative 7. So E means times 10 to the negative 7. So I know that I'm on the right track. So what I need to do, just a reminder here, in your directions, the pH and the POH, you need to go to 2 decimal spots. However, you're going to report the answers for the other problems to 3 significant figures. Here's what that means. 3 significant figures means 3 placeholders that matter. So a couple things that you're going to do here. I'm going to look at my number. 1 is a significant digit, so that's 1. 0.9, 9 is the second important number, and 0. Okay, so that is 3 significant digits. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put 1.90. I'm going to come over here and I'm going to see if there's a color change. I'm going to hit enter. Okay, and I see more colors are starting to show up. Okay, so as you guys go through, just a reminder, make sure you hit enter after you try to number. If it's incorrect, you won't see any color change. If it's correct, you guys will see more colors starting to fill in. So at this time, you guys can go ahead and practice on your own. Please let me know if you guys have any questions. For my on-level chemistry kids, you guys will have ultimately today. And if you guys are struggling, I will give you class time tomorrow to finish it. Honors, it's 15 problems. You guys have already done algebra before, so your expectation is to be done at 4:05 today. So make sure you guys get it turned in. If you are struggling, please let me know. You guys have been doing a really great job of emailing me, so I appreciate it. If you guys are behind on your Edpuzzle, let me know. Make sure you guys are contacting me. Hopefully I've been getting responses back to you guys in time. So let me know if you guys need anything else from me. But good luck on this, and I hope you guys have fun. Make sure when you are done with this, if you get all 15 questions right, turn it in on Google Classroom. Thanks, guys.